How does one of the NBA's most exciting young dynasties collapse almost overnight? Just 4 years ago, the Memphis Grizzlies looked like the future of the Western Conference. With Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Dillon Brooks leading the way, they won 56 games before following it up with another 51-win season. Everything pointed toward Memphis becoming a perennial contender for the next decade. Then, everything unraveled. One by one, the foundation of that team disappeared. Every player who defined that era was traded, released, or moved on. The core that once looked built to dominate the NBA simply vanished. For most franchises, losing a group like that would mean years of rebuilding and irrelevance. But Memphis may have done something almost impossible. Instead of starting over, they may have built an entirely new foundation in just one offseason. Now they have a 6'9" National Player of the Year with superstar potential, a 7'3" defensive force capable of changing games with his rim protection alone, and a former Division III wing that almost nobody knew 2 years ago, who already looks like a legitimate NBA contributor. So here's the question everyone should be asking. What if losing Ja Morant wasn't the end of the Grizzlies? What if it was actually the beginning of something even better? Because make no mistake, this isn't the same Memphis Grizzlies anymore. And every version of this new era begins with one name, Cameron Boozer. Wherever Boozer goes, one question always follows him. Does he have the athletic ceiling to become a true NBA superstar? It's a fair question, but the Grizzlies don't seem overly concerned. And once you look at everything he's accomplished, it's easy to understand why. There was a reason NBA teams viewed the 2026 draft as one of the deepest classes in years. No, it didn't feature a once-in-a-generation prospect like Victor Wembanyama. What it did was elite, franchise-changing talent stacked at the very top. Darren Peterson, A.J. Dibansa, Caleb Wilson, and Cameron Boozer. 4 prospects that many executives believe could become the cornerstone of an NBA franchise. Memphis selected Boozer with the 3rd overall pick, right around where most draft experts expected him to go. While Peterson and Dibansa generated slightly more buzz because of their elite athletic upside, Boozer was widely considered the safest prospect in the entire class, with arguably the highest floor of anyone available. What truly separated him wasn't just his talent, it was his resume. Before ever stepping onto an NBA court, Boozer had already built one of the most decorated basketball careers a young player could possibly have. At Christopher Columbus High School in Miami, he compiled an incredible 114 record while leading his team to 4 consecutive Florida State championships in the state's highest classification. During his senior season, he delivered the school's first ever national championship. On the AAU circuit, his team, **** Nitride is Elite ****, became the first program in history to win the Nike EYBL Peach Jam across 3 consecutive age divisions, a remarkable achievement that highlighted their sustained dominance. Along the way, Boozer captured virtually every major high school basketball award imaginable. He also became just the 4th player in history to win the Gatorade National Player of the Year award twice. Then came Duke. As a freshman, Boozer helped lead the Blue Devils to a spectacular 35-win season, an ACC regular season championship, an ACC tournament title, and the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. Even more impressive, Duke lost only 3 games all season, and those defeats came by a combined total of just 5 points. Boozer earned first-team All-American honors and swept nearly every major National Player of the Year award available. By the time he declared for the NBA draft, he wasn't simply entering the league as another highly rated prospect. He arrived as one of the most accomplished young basketball players of his generation, and the player Memphis believes can lead the franchise into its next championship era. Very few American prospects enter the NBA with a resume as complete as Cameron Boozer's. He's won at every level. He's dominated every level. And in one of the deepest draft classes the NBA has seen in nearly 2 decades, a class featuring 3 legitimate candidates for the number 1 overall pick. Boozer being selected 3rd never felt like a disappointment. It simply reflected how different front offices valued upside, fit, and long-term potential. But there is one criticism that follows Boozer everywhere: his athleticism. He's not an explosive leaper by NBA standards. He doesn't have a lightning-quick first step. And he isn't the type of player filling social media with highlight reel poster dunks. In today's NBA, where elite athleticism, length, and vertical explosion often dominate the conversation, building your franchise around a player like Boozer can seem unconventional. The Grizzlies couldn't care less, because they didn't draft him for what he lacks. They drafted him for everything he already does at an elite level. Standing 6'9" and weighing 250 pounds, Boozer delivered one of the most dominant freshman seasons college basketball has seen in years. He averaged 22, 5 points, 10, 2 rebounds, 4, 1 assist, and 1 for steals per game ***, while shooting an incredibly efficient 55. 6% from the field ***, and 39. 1% from beyond the arc ***. He wasn't just Duke's best scorer. He was their best rebounder, arguably their best passer. And he accomplished all of it as a 19-year-old freshman. That's exactly why Memphis believes he's special. Elite athleticism eventually fades. Basketball IQ doesn't. Neither do footwork, strength, touch, decision-making, vision, or passing ability. Those are the traits that age gracefully. Those are the traits championship teams are built around. And Boozer already possesses every one of them. There simply aren't many weaknesses in his offensive game. He's a polished scorer, a gifted playmaker, an elite rebounder, and the kind of player who consistently makes everyone around him better. Almost everything starts inside the three-point line, whether it's posting up smaller defenders, rolling hard to the rim, attacking off the dribble, or knocking down pull-up jumpers. Boozer always seems to have an answer. His footwork is remarkably advanced for someone his age. Combined with his strength, balance, and soft touch, he creates high-quality shots without relying on elite athleticism. He doesn't need to jump over defenders. He simply outplays them. But perhaps his greatest strength is how quickly he processes a game. The moment defenses begin to collapse, Boozer already knows where the next pass is going. He recognizes double teams before they fully arrive. He finds the open shooter, or he patiently waits for defenders to commit before attacking the space they've left behind. For a power forward, that level of court vision is exceptionally rare. At Duke, he averaged 4, 1 assist per game ***, while functioning as one of the offense's primary creators. He consistently manipulated defenders, anticipated rotations, and created passing windows before they even appeared. Then there's his rebounding, arguably the safest part of the projection to the NBA. At every level he's played, Boozer has dominated the glass. During his lone season at Duke, he grabbed 3, 4 offensive rebounds per game ***, constantly creating second-chance opportunities that swung momentum in his team's favor. Whenever Boozer was on the floor, Duke controlled the boards, and those extra possessions frequently turned into easy points before opponents could even recover. Defensively, many critics assume his lack of elite vertical athleticism will limit his impact. The film tells a completely different story. He consistently puts himself in the right position. He rotates early, communicates well, anticipates plays before they develop, and erases mistakes through basketball intelligence rather than raw explosiveness. That's exactly why his fit in Memphis feels so intriguing. The Grizzlies just spent years building around one of the most electrifying athletes the NBA has ever seen. They understand better than almost anyone that athleticism alone doesn't guarantee championships. This time, they're betting on something different. Basketball IQ, decision-making, versatility, consistency. The pressure will be enormous. Replacing the face of a franchise is never easy, especially as a 3rd overall pick. But there's one player in this draft class who has lived under massive expectations his entire life. It's Cameron Boozer, the son of a former All-NBA star, a 5-star recruit, a 2-time National Player of the Year, and one of the most decorated high school and college basketball players of the past decade. The spotlight has never intimidated him. At every stage of his career, he's embraced it, and he's delivered. Of course, no franchise cornerstone succeeds alone. NBA history is filled with brilliant young stars who never received the supporting cast they deserved. One superstar doesn't transform an organization. Building the right foundation around him does. That's where Memphis becomes truly fascinating. After selecting Boozer with the third overall pick, the Grizzlies made their vision unmistakably clear. They're constructing one of the biggest, toughest, and smartest front courts in the NBA. Every move they've made over the past 2 drafts points in the exact same direction: length, strength, versatility, high basketball IQ. And perhaps no player represents that philosophy better than Cedric Coward, because his journey to the NBA is almost unbelievable. Most lottery picks spend years climbing the national recruiting rankings. Cedric Coward took a completely different path. He didn't begin at a powerhouse program. He didn't arrive with 5-star hype. He started at Division III Willamette University. From there, he followed head coach David Riley to Eastern Washington, then transferred again with Riley to Washington State, steadily proving he belonged at every higher level he reached. Then, just as everything was coming together, disaster struck. Only 6 games into what was supposed to be his breakout season, a shoulder injury brought everything to a halt. For many prospects, that's where the NBA dream quietly ends. Not for Cedric Coward. Instead of giving up, he attacked his rehab, briefly considered transferring to Duke, and then completely transformed his draft stock through an outstanding pre-draft process. His workouts were so impressive that NBA executives quickly changed their opinions. His name kept climbing draft boards. Memphis noticed. The Grizzlies traded up to select him with the 11th overall pick, just 1 season later. That decision already looks like a steal. Kareem Lopez, Quentin Post, wave after wave of interchangeable size. Players who can rebound, defend, switch, punish smaller lineups, and wear opponents down over the course of a game. It's a dramatically different philosophy from the Ja Morant era, and that appears to be exactly the point, because even the most talented young core still needs room to grow. In today's NBA, talent alone doesn't win championships. The organizations that contend year after year do 3 things exceptionally well. They draft intelligently, they develop relentlessly, and when the perfect opportunity arrives, they have the assets to make a franchise-changing move. That's exactly where Memphis finds itself today. Not long ago, the Grizzlies were one of the NBA's brightest young teams. A 56-win powerhouse built around Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Dillon Brooks. Add key contributors like Kyle Anderson, Tyus Jones, Santi Aldama, and 6th Man of the Year candidate Brandon Clark, and it truly felt like the beginning of a dynasty. Today, that entire roster is gone. Not a single player from the memorable 2021-22 Grizzlies remains. To some fans, that sounds like a franchise that completely lost its identity. But perhaps the opposite is true. Maybe Memphis didn't lose its future. Maybe it reinvented it. Every major trade created another opportunity. Every difficult decision opened another door. Those moves ultimately positioned the Grizzlies to draft Cameron Boozer, while also building one of the strongest collections of future draft assets anywhere in the NBA and in the years ahead. That may prove to be the decision that changes everything. And here's the part that could completely change the future of this franchise. According to ESPN's Bobby Marks, the Memphis Grizzlies currently possess the most valuable collection of future first-round picks in the entire NBA. Through 2032, Memphis controls an incredible 11 first-round selections. 7 are their own. The other 4 came through the blockbuster trades involving Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr., but that's only the beginning. The Grizzlies also own a top 2 protected pick swap with Orlando in 2029, an unprotected Magic first-round pick in 2030, and an unprotected Phoenix Suns first-round pick in 2031. Perhaps even more impressive, they've managed to accomplish all of that without sacrificing a single one of their own first-round picks over the next 7 years. That's an extraordinary position for any rebuilding franchise, because those draft picks represent far more than future rookies. They can become the next generation of stars. They can develop into valuable rotation players. Or, when the perfect opportunity presents itself, they can be packaged together in a blockbuster trade for an established superstar. That's the real value of stockpiling draft assets. The goal was never to keep drafting forever. The goal was always to have the flexibility to strike when the right player becomes available. Of course, not every move Memphis made was about collecting draft picks. Some were about creating a better basketball team immediately. Following the Ja Morant era, the Grizzlies worked to restore balance throughout the roster. They acquired veteran forward Jeremy Grant and former first-round pick Chris Murray from Portland, adding experience alongside their growing young core. Then they officially closed a chapter on the previous era. Santi Aldama was traded to Dallas in exchange for A.J. Johnson, a protected 2030 Golden State first-round pick, and 2 future second-round selections. By that point, the transformation was complete. Memphis had assembled exactly what every rebuilding organization dreams of, but very few actually achieve: a talented young core, a clearly defined identity, and enough financial and draft flexibility to continue improving for years to come. That's what makes this rebuild so fascinating. It isn't finished. It's entering its most important phase. And perhaps the most exciting part, the Grizzlies have already shown they aren't afraid to be aggressive. According to multiple reports, Memphis offered 4 first-round picks in an attempt to acquire Mikal Bridges before Brooklyn declined. They also pursued OG Anunoby before Toronto ultimately sent him to New York. Ironically, both players later became key contributors on the Knicks championship team. That tells you everything you need to know about Memphis front office. They're patient by nature, but when the right opportunity appears, they're willing to go all in. And with one of the NBA's deepest collections of future assets, another opportunity may not be far away. Meanwhile, Cameron Boozer, Cedric Howard, and Zach Edey have already given new head coach Thomas Isolo the perfect foundation to build upon. A roster designed around fast decisions, constant ball movement, relentless pace, physical defense, multiple playmakers, and a massive front court capable of overwhelming opponents with size and strength. Whether this group ultimately becomes a championship contender would depend on 2 things. First, how much these young players continue to develop. And second, how wisely Memphis uses the treasure chest of assets still waiting in reserve. Because this rebuild isn't over. If anything, it's only now reaching the stage that matters most. The Grizzlies didn't simply replace one core with another. They may have built something even more sustainable. Now, the only question left is, how high is this team ceiling? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe this young Memphis core has what it takes to become the NBA's next championship contender? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another in-depth NBA analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.